The Director of Operations for the Ghana Police Service, Dr. George Ekufu-Dampare, has been transferred from his current position and is now the Director General, Research and Planning. This is one of 11 changes within the top hierarchy of the Ghana Police Service in the wake of the recent armed robbery cases claiming lives and also destroying property. Well, COP Christian Teteyehunu, who was head of special duties, is now leading the police intelligence unit. The reshuffle happened just hours after an emergency national security meeting chaired by the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. David Eklu is Director of Police Public Affairs.
There have been some changes in the Ghana Police Service among the top positions at the Director General, that's members of the Police Management Board, as well as some regional commanders. 7 officers have been affected. The first one is the Director General Operations, COP Dr. Dampare is now Director General Research and Planning. And the Eastern Regional Commander, DCOP Mr. Simon Apeku, is now coming to the headquarters as the Director General Operations. Those are the key changes. And then the Volta Regional Commander, DCOP Nana Asuma, is coming to Tema region as the regional commander. As per the message from the IG's office, it takes immediate effect. But it takes maybe a while because some are coming from outside Accra to the headquarters, others are moving from the headquarters to other places. So it might take a week for all of them to be in position. But technically speaking, these changes take immediate effect. This is not the first time that changes have taken place based on some operational exigencies, and it is expectation that these officers would also make further impact. But they have already been doing tremendous work, and they are also going to bring their experiences to bear in these new positions that they are moving to.
And prior to the announcement, the Information Minister, Mustafa Hamid, outlined a 7-point approach, including an enhanced Operation Calm Life initiative, which will ultimately see the police joining forces with the military to restore peace and security in the country.
I agree with you, but of course, you know that we are in a country of laws also and of procedure for acquisition of property like that. It would have to go through procurement processes and so on. The Minister for Interior has hinted me that they are finding a way with working with Parliament to ensure that we can jumpstart some of the procurement processes in order to be able to get these things as quickly as we can get them, so that nobody comes back to complain of why did you do sole sourcing for these matters and etc. etc. You have to balance the law and the emergency. So we would balance the law and the emergency.
And relatedly, the management of Delta Agro, where an accountant was killed in an armed robbery incident Wednesday after making a bank withdrawal to pay salaries, has assured the workers they will have their salaries paid next Monday. The 4 armed men who attacked the 54-year-old Ahmed Safiadin, Lebanese at the Tema Heavy Industrial Area, made away with some 200,000 Ghana cedis he had taken from the bank. There have already been suggestions that the company could have avoided the attack on its accountant if the payment of its workers was done electronically. Administrative Manager Seth Kakoampoma explained that the company has been contemplating the idea for some time before the incident.
Police forensic experts just finished gathering evidence from the vehicle the deceased was using before he was accosted by the armed robbers. I've been speaking to the administrative manager of the Delta Agro company, who says that they have completed processes to start paying their workers electronically.
The trauma, which the workers and management has gone through, we felt it's better to suspend the activities until at least we ease off a little by Monday.
We picking information that police officers would want to question the staff also. I don't know if that has come to your attention and whether that has happened already now that they are all on break.
That much I don't know. They were here yesterday. Whether or not they spoke to Whether or not they interview some of the workers, I'm not in a position to say that one. But they interviewed some of them at the gate yesterday. Yeah. So
I mean, this is just an aside to the main conversation. Indeed, we've lost a life in this. We know some of your workers also were looking forward to their salaries, but we understand that the robbers bolted with a 200,000 Ghana cedis. As an administrative manager, I know this is a difficult time for you. What explanations have been given to your workers? Have they been paid?
No, they've not been paid, but they've all understood the situation, and we've written to tell them that they should bear with us until Monday when we will arrange to get them their salaries. So definitely their salaries will be paid on Monday. Yeah.
Why couldn't the workers, I mean, they are suggesting that the workers could have been paid electronically via mobile money or via their accounts. Any response as the administrative manager?
We've tried to convince management that workers should be paid electronically. In fact, the last 2 months thereabout, we nearly completed the arrangements for that, and then it was stalled. So I don't really know, but immediately after the incident, the management decided that henceforth all salaries should be paid electronically.
One of the workers I've been speaking to says he saw the vehicles the armed robbers were using parked here some minutes before the incident happened.
Yesterday in the morning, wine-colored Santa Fe Nissan car with registration number, not too sure, but 2013, according to eyewitness, has parked down there. And there was a fair-colored young guy in the car. But the other guys has been also spotted earlier in the morning under the tree over there at the junction. Yeah. So as soon as our man, that is the late Alaji, who is a cashier of the company, hit this road towards this direction, the guys started following and shooting. You understand? Then the car moved in and blocked his way. The next thing they saw was that Alaji's car was moving in the opposite direction, that is in the reverse direction. Then they started shooting again. Then that was how the car went into the fence of Nexon's company. So at the spot they realized the guys opened the boot and started taking something from it, which we believe was the money he took from the bank.
I think 3 years ago, the armed robbers attacked the company, but not individual. I think they came in the night and tied all the security people and penetrated the offices and take some money and go. And the second one, I think, is on 2015. That is 2 years ago. The same thing. They came in the night, tied all the security people, and penetrate into the office and take the sieve and just dismantle the sieve and take whatever they want to take. But this is the first time they attacked the accountant as personal as outside. This is the first time they did it.
Well, let's move away from crime. And the Ghana Health Service has confirmed the death of one person following the outbreak of Lassa Fever. The disease is said to be endemic in West Africa, and people are being advised to do all they could to rid their homes of rodents. The Ghana Health Service in February placed all health facilities in Ghana on high alert after a test at the Noguchi Memorial Institute confirmed the Lassa Fever-related death. JoyNews' Jacqueline Johnson-Quay has been speaking out on the street of Accra to ask Ghanaians their knowledge of the disease.
There's been a report of a victim who died today at the Tema General Hospital as a result of Lassa Fever. Attempts by JoyNews to get authorities from the Ministry of Health and the Ghana Health Service to talk to us has proved futile. We're trying to get more information on the situation and would update you as it comes in.
I've never heard of anything about Lassa Fever before, but I just read it on the news this morning that one person died from Lassa Fever in Accra. It would have been good if the ministry come out to explain to and then give us the ways and means of preventing ourselves from this disease.
I heard about the fever spreading somewhere in Nigeria. The ministry haven't come out to say anything about it. Most Ghanaians don't know about it. So I think they should come out more. I was just checking online, I heard one person has died. The person might have contacted it, giving it to another person, to another person, to another person. Are they doing the trace to know where the person is coming from? What are they doing? They should come out because We don't want to cause fear and panic.
I'm worried because this thing should get to the authorities, higher authorities, so that they take measures in preventing it. So I pray, as you are doing this, it will get to those it's supposed to get to, so that they work on it, so that this problem or this Lassa fever will not be a big problem in Ghana now.
And President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's dream of making Accra the cleanest city in Africa is starting today with a cleanup exercise in all government institutions. The whole country is then expected to join in the exercise from tomorrow to make the country clean. Water and Sanitation Minister Kofi Adda says the exercise forms part of activities marking Ghana's 61st independence anniversary. Addressing the media, he charged the country to make cleaning the environment a daily activity.
Some of the refuse heaps that were so visible in Accra, for instance, the Mala Market, Adedemko, Glife, Trinity College, we spend significant sums of money to go and clear those sites. That's an effort to support what the Mayor of Accra is doing. Those were more or less stopgap measures that we had to do to clear certain environments of the city. It's about time for us to roll out the cleaning exercise. And as said by the President, every day is a sanitation day. We do not intend to come here today and announce that we're going to have a cleanup day on such and such a day and end it there. We want to begin a program that will roll on and get everybody to be involved to continue to do what they need to do to make the country clean on a day-to-day basis. As we speak, major activities that we want to undertake to commence this exercise, to clean the country and to make Accra the cleanest city, involve tomorrow, Friday, us leading by example, by us, I mean the ministry and the leaders of government, to begin within the ministerial enclave in Accra to clean up the minister's area.
And the Accra Mayor, Mohammed J. Sowa, says logistics will be provided to ensure debris from the cleanup will be collected and ultimately disposed of after the exercise.
Our officers have also got enough equipment and logistics to support the operation in the Central Business District. It will interest you to note that this is a city-wide exercise because it appears that in this country, on every National Sanitation Day, you will see heaps of refuse coming out from various homes and to be dumped on the roadside for us to evacuate. We have anticipated this thing happening, and for that matter, we are not leaving any stone unturned. We are procuring enough logistics and equipment to be able to evacuate every refuse that will be seen on the street, apart from the exercise and the targeted area that we have earmarked. Honorable Minister, we are not just cleaning the city, but we are also desilting the drains. I would also like to inform you that just this week, we have also awarded contracts to all for the desilting of all tertiary drains within the Central Business District.
Meanwhile, the committee supervising the organization of the Ghana 61 Independence Anniversary has been outlining activities to mark the week-long celebration. Nigerian President Muhammad Buhari will be the special guest for the traditional 6th March parade. The Director of Operations at the Presidency, Lord Kome, says he expects a colorful celebration.
This time around, the Ghana Armed Forces and all the security agencies would want to give us something special because we are moving to another level. Also because of the theme that the President put on this very year's celebrations. They are doing so well, and you are also invited to come and observe the exercise, the rehearsals, one of which is coming on tomorrow. There will be a last rehearsal on Sunday to wrap up as we get ourselves in readiness for the Tuesday. So there will be fireworks across all regions. The famous torch that was lit here Ghana 60 years on will be received finally at the Kwame Nkrumah Circle, and there will be fireworks across that would end the Ghana 60 years, the dawn of the 5th of March, so that the 6th of March becomes a new day for the people of Ghana.
A circuit court in Koforidua has sentenced 3 illegal miners to 4 years each in prison for illegally mining in the Etiwa Forest Reserve. The convicts are to also pay a fine of 36,000 Ghana cedis each. Correspondent Kofi Sian was in court and has filed this report.
Hearing before the Koforidua Circuit Court B, the convicts Kofi Abraham 21, Yao Efrifa 28 and Bismarck Jemfi 21 all pleaded guilty to charges of conspiracy to commit crime, illegal mining and mining without license. The prosecutor, Kwesi Opariredu, told the court, presided over by Her Honor Mercy Adekote, that the complainant, who is a Forestry Services official in charge of the Etiwa Range Forest Reserve, arrested the culprit on February 26, 2018. The officers retrieved a pumping machine, pickaxe, 4 metal buckets, a washing carpet, shovel, and headpan at the time of arrest. The 3 convicts, before their sentence, pleaded with the court to forgive them because they engaged in the act to get money to feed themselves. The Agro district manager of the Forest Service Department, Kwame Otinewua, narrated how the convicts were arrested.
3 days ago, we had information about reoccurrence of resurfacing or reappearance of the illegal miners at Boma portion of the Atiwa Forest Reserve. And upon the receipt of the information, the officer in charge of the range organized the rapid response team together with some forest guards, and they went to the site. At the site, there were 3 men busily operating with their equipment, extracting gold. That is, the processes were in progress. So they were arrested and brought to the Kwabin police.
He said the sentence will spur them on in their duty to protect the forest.
They have been sentenced 4 years imprisonment each and 3,000 penalty units in addition. This is the good news for Forest Commission, since it is so deterring that people, prospective offenders, when they hear of this punitive measures, may be scared and will not proceed in the illegal activities at Atiwa Forest.
Kofi Sian's report for JoyNews.
In other stories, the Ministry of Finance has released some 88 million Ghana cedis to clear arrears of caterers on the National School Feeding Program in parts of the country. The amount, which is to settle arrears from September to December 2017, will be disbursed soon. The Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Utiko Afisa-Jaba, also announced at the press briefing to launch the Ghana strand of this year's International Day of Women celebrations that beginning this term, all students in public schools across Ghana will have a cocoa beverage each school day.
We must secure today and ensure that the school feeding program is sustainable and that good nutritious meals, hot, are produced. And I want to use today to tell our caterers and the public that finally the Ministry of Finance has released 88 million for the caterers for September to December. We want to use this day to apologize to them for the delay. It is because we met a huge debt and there is the need to manage things. And so we have put in mechanisms to ensure that payments are more timely. And indeed, for the first time in the history of Ghana, school feeding has been increased to 1 cedi. It used to be 30 pesos and then 50, 80 pesos, and now it is 1 cedi. We are also going to give the children 1 cocoa drink a day of school-going days. This is as the instigation of our President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. Indeed, the Ministry of Finance has allocated 423 million for school feeding caterers for 2018 budget. All our money is in school feeding. For the rest of the ministry's many activities of children, alleged witches, the parks, the orphanages, and whatnot, the allocation is 2.3 million. That tells you the government's commitment to ensure that we feed our children of school-going age adequately. We will fight for an increase in that amount, but whilst we are at it, we will plead with the caterers to make sure that they cook every school-going day, and that whether the payments come on time or not, they will cook hot, nutritious meals, and Ghana will thank them forever.
Meanwhile, the ministry has declared zero tolerance for female genital mutilation in Ghana. According to Madam Otiku Afisa-Jaba, the 27.8% of prevalence rate of the activity in the Upper East region is alarming. She wants all stakeholders, including traditional leaders, to put their shoulders to the wheel in eradicating it totally.
I just returned from Pusiga, where FGM is still on the tables. FGM, female genital cutting, that is hazardous to the lives of girls and women. FGM that has no benefit whatsoever, but just to reassure our male folk that women must still wear chastity belts, and that in terms of fidelity, a woman must have her parts cut off, and it affects her health in terms of childbearing and other diseases related. And so, we are here to say that we have made significant and tremendous progress as women. It is disheartening and dispiriting to learn that this despicable and dehumanizing practice, FGM, is now 27.8% in the Upper East, when the national average is 3.8%. We must totally eradicate these heinous and negative and harmful cultural practices against our girls and women, Ghana 61 years on.
Now let's turn our attention to transport. And Kumasi, Tamale and Takrade will be the next regional capitals after Accra to have the bus rapid transit services. Transport Minister Kwekufori Siama at a sword cutting ceremony to start construction of a BRT terminal at Tudu in the central business district of Accra said government wants to transition away from the use of small to medium-sized buses, which are less efficient and in most cases congest the road. The contractor, Nimo Construction, has up to March 2019 to complete the terminal, which will ultimately serve as a major transfer hub for inner-city and intra-city transport services. Ifwa Evans Chinri now reports.
According to the Minister for Transportation, Kwekufori Esiama, the importance of transportation and for that matter road transport, which currently serves over 95% of all domestic transport services. While the population in major cities is increasing at a much faster rate than anticipated, the built-up areas are also increasing. This development has put a strain on general service delivery. The transport environment in Accra, as we all know, is characterized by heavy congestion, particularly during the peak periods, and inadequate facilities for pedestrians and cyclists, among others. Commuters on a daily basis have to endure the long waiting periods at the various terminals just to travel through congested central business areas of the city. Infrastructure such as roadways, bus terminals, bus stops, among others, are woefully inadequate in our cities. The project is therefore intended to provide adequate and central terminating and loading space for buses, which now enjoy very significant patronage. The Minister for Transport said government's policies to ensure that about 80% of the commuting public travel by some means of transport systems, specifically with respect to the use of high occupancy buses.
Government is therefore determined and committed to solve this problem, which is confronting our urban transport system. And we will continue to rely on the cooperation of stakeholders to make sure that this thing happens. Due to the central location of this terminal, I'm sure that when it is completed, to serve almost all the Ayalolo bus route to the central city, look at Amasama to Accra, Adenta to Accra, Kasua to Accra, and also Tema Nungwa to the central city. This project therefore supports government policy to develop ultramodern commercial facilities in order to provide the quality of services passengers require. The completion of this terminal will therefore help to improve transport services and the full operationalization of Adenta to Accra BRT corridor. This terminal will also serve as a major transport transfer hub for intercity and intracity transport services.
The contractor has up to the end of March next year to complete this terminal. This terminal would also serve as a major transfer hub for intercity and intracity transport services. The Metro Mass Transit Limited and the BRT services would all operate from this terminal. Greater Accra Regional Minister Ishmael Lashiti said the project is aimed at bringing relief to urban road users.
These delays on our urban roads have prevailed for a long time. So this initiative undoubtedly will bring a relief to urban road users. As a government, we cannot afford to let this project fail due to our actions and inactions. And that is the reason why I am happy to be part of today's salt cutting ceremony to ensure we provide the needed infrastructure to support the BRT system.
The ultra-modern terminal, which differs in size and scope, will have spaces for banks, restaurants, shops and offices.
And that'll be for the latest news. We have a lot more news. We'll be reviewing the newspapers, and today we're having a preview of the International Women's Day for 2018. We'll be coming out somewhere around the 8th of March, but we'll be joined by sweet-looking, beautiful Auntie Funke with all the things we can have around here. We also want to have great conversations around many things right here in the studio. Well, we have to take a break. When we come back, Mama Vio Swambwaje, Auntie Funke, all of us will be bringing to you some great times.